Hey, coaches. Welcome back to Football Talk with Coach Chip. Going to go back and revisit duo. I found a great example of why it's called power without a puller. Before we go any further, don't forget to subscribe. Just go down there below and click on that sub button. That subscribe button won't cost you a thing, and you won't get deluged, I promise. I looked at our analytics the other day, and it's just amazing how many. Don't get me wrong, if you're not a subscriber and you're watching, thank you. But go ahead and take the plunge. I know it requires so much commitment. It's like signing a 50-year contract. You don't have to give up your firstborn. Nothing happens. You're just a subscriber, and that helps with numbers on our end. And also be sure to like the video. And if you like it, tell all your friends about it. And if you don't like it, keep your cockeyed mouth shut. All right, duo. Often called power without a puller. Sometimes I look at it and I say that's a backward zone kind of look. I have a difficult time discerning duo from zone from the sideline shot. I can tell right away from an end zone shot, but you can see from the end zone shot, especially behind the offense, why it's called power without a puller. And I found some clips of the Tampa Bay Bucks in 2020, I believe, when they were running duo, and I just kept going through it, studying it, and then I found this clip, and this is a great example why it's called power without a puller. Let's look real quick. These are the basic rules and some of the terminology, and you can feel free to click back and see this. The thing you got to realize, duo is not zone because every player has a gap. And they literally down blocking that gap. Each offensive lineman is responsible for their backside gap, just like traditional gap scheme plays. If it's power right, the front side line is responsible for their left gap. If it's duo right, almost the entire offensive line, not just the front side, is responsible for their backside gap. All right, just like traditional gap scheme plays, just like in our book, the Gap Down Backer Manual for Offensive Linemen. Now, the steps are a little different, and you're trying to get double teams, which is where the name comes from. Some people say duo comes from the words double up. It could just be because you're looking for two double teams. It's double-double. So the offensive line is looking to build a double team on the duo play if there's nobody in their backside gap. They will build a double team with the OL to their play side. So this play is duo right that we're going to look at today. It's duo right, everybody's looking in the gap to their left. If there's no threat there, then they look back to their right, play side, and look to build a double team with their buddy to that side. And there are exceptions to this. This play is one clip against a particular front, a particular defense. But I'm hoping it will give you an idea how it works. And also, I just don't think it's that complicated. A lot of people I think it's an easier scheme to teach kids than inside zone, unless you're just doing it by the numbers and blocking it like traditional dive. That's right, I said it. A lot of y'all are thinking you're running some kind of new age zone play, and you're running the dive, the cockeyed dive that we're running in 1972, and it's where the South Columbus Wasps. All right, so the exception to the rule about that is the backside, and technically sometimes the backside is getting the gap to their backside because they're turning out on the end man on the line of scrimmage. So the backside OT will turn out on the MLOS versus most fronts, and the backside offensive guard will turn out on the backside versus like an underfront because the guard will turn out on the 3 and the DN will turn out on the 5. Now let's talk about the blocks. Explanation of combo blocks. An ace. That's what we're going to call a combo block involving the center and either guard, front or back side, either guard. Ace is a combo block. It's a combo double team. Deuce is a combo block involving the guard and tackle to the front side. And tray is the combo block involving the tight end with the sniffer the tight end with an extra tight end, the tight end with the wing back, the tight end with the H, whatever you want to call him. That's a tray call. This helps with communication. The offensive line needs to talk. If the center is going to do a combo with the play side guard, they will both look at each other and both look at the word and say the words ace. If the guard and tackle are going to execute a combo, they will go deuce. They will look at each other and say deuce. That way somebody can say, oh, I missed the call. I said, no, man, you echoed the call back to me. We said it together. And that way, the last thing they got in their mind before they put their hand down is, I'm executing this block. Now, I do know that in some leagues, you're going to have some sly and savvy DCs that when they understand what you're doing, they're going to stem or move right before the snap. Now, one of the ways to eliminate that BS is years ago when some teams were doing it. Kirby Smart loves to do it at Georgia. I said, well, this is how you eliminate that crap. You go on first sound. I still remember old split back veer teams. Teams were trying to mess with them by messing with their reads, by stemming. I guess wishbone teams, they did it too. But I still remember Sonny Dykes' daddy, Spike Dykes at Texas Tech. They'd huddle like 5 or 6 yards from the line of scrimmage, break the huddle, sprint to the line of scrimmage, put their hands down, and boom, go. Just say go. Ain't no stemming to that, hoss. But for teams that do like to stem, you're going to have to practice that and do that in practice and all so your kids can pick that up and they can communicate even with their hand in the dirt. You got to know these calls, and you don't have to call them ace, deuce, tray. Different people have different calls. I've found that out. But a tray block may involve more than the OT and a tight end, maybe 2 tight ends, a sniffer and a tight end and a sniffer, an OT and a sniffer. You know, it could be anybody, but that is that third combination to the play side. Now, here's a coaching point, and you're going to see this in the video. Stay on your doubles as long as possible. The term I like to use is the old history term. Don't come off until you see the whites of the linebacker's eyes. I heard one coach say, don't come off until you smell his breath. You know, we've always said, don't come off until they commit. Let the linebacker, this is one of the terms I started using when we went to zone years ago. Let the linebacker choose which offensive lineman will block him. Make him commit to a gap. Make him choose. If we don't block a linebacker because he stays flat, then we're good. Because he's going to line up at 4 or 5 yards of depth. And he collisions our running back at 4 or 5 yards, we're going to get 5, 6, 7 yards. And that's something to think about right there too. And you'll see on this clip toward the end of it, what I'm talking about, where the play side backer doesn't commit, makes the tackle, and it's like a 7, 8 yard gain because he doesn't commit and he gets kind of caught up in the wash of the double team. If you don't come off, it's not the end of the world. We've got to make sure we're getting a dent in the defensive front with those double teams, those hip-to-hip double teams. All right, each offensive lineman responsible for the gap to their left. If there is no threat, they build a double team with the OL to the play side. Here's what we're talking about. This guy's always responsible for this gap. But now he's going to turn out anyway. That's his dude. You know, this ghost 9, as I like to call it. All right, the backside guard, this is his gap right here. If nothing's in it, he's going to ace with the center. And look, there's nothing in it. There's no threat. So he's going to ace with the center. All right, now the center is responsible for the gap to his left because it's duo right. So he's responsible for the backside gap. So he looks in it. Something there? Yes. He's going to ace with the backside guard. So they're going to look at each other and go ace. Now they both know they're combo double teaming. We'll get to their linebacker responsibility later. Play side guard. Right guard, it's duo right. This is his gap. The gap to his backside. The gap to his left. There's nobody in his gap. There's no threat. So he's going to deuce block with the play side tackle right here. Who's responsible for this gap? Something in his gap? Yes. So these two look at each other and go deuce, deuce. And they're going to combo double team right here. All right. This tight end is responsible for this gap. Is anything in it? No. So he's going to make a tray call with the other tight end. And notice they've loaded this thing up for bear. 2 tight ends and a sniffer. And this tight end's a wing, and this receiver's a wing. So this tight end that you can barely see in front of 17, you can see his arm, is anything in his gap, because that's his gap inside. Yes. So he's going to tray with the other tight end. So a tight end's involved. It's a tray call. And you got two tight ends. Now this cat, 17, he's responsible for that outside backer. Sniffer is responsible for that outside backer. Now talking about responsibilities. So he's got this guy. He's a turnout. Backside tackles. Got this in man on line of scrimmage so he can't run the cockeyed thing down. And you get a double team right here. And they are comboing to this guy. Eyes on this guy right here. If he commits here, the guard will come off. And if he commits here, the center will come off. If the joker stays flat, just keep driving him back. So I'm going to tell you, if you don't believe it, all right, here's what you need to do. Get three of your linemen, any three of your linemen, to sit in your lap all at the same time. Now do something. So if you got these two doubling this guy back into this guy, putting him in their lap, what's he going to do? Not a whole hell of a lot. Okay, now on the front side, you've got your deuce block right here. Here's your ace over here, by the way. You got your deuce, and they're doubling here to this backer. Okay, now this is the guy they're going to trigger right here. And the tray call, they're doubling this guy, looking to this guy. And some duo coaches won't even come off on this guy, just make his butt commit. Oh, and by the way, once you identify who your trigger backer is, who your key is, that's who some guys say press the A gap no matter what, with your eyes on him. Some coaches teach attack him. Take your step and go right at him. And then you go opposite of him. This guy right here. So here you got your turnout, your double, your double, your double. All right, so all gaps and hats are accounted for. So this gap's accounted for. 74 can come off and get it. The D tackle is in this gap, and they've got it. Right here, he's got this gap. He's got this gap. He's got this gap. He's got this gap. Guys, you can't ask for a better football play that has all gaps accounted for. You say, what about on the outside? If this guy fits up right here, he's going to get him. Watch 17 as we keep progressing through the video. He's not committing either. He's right here staying behind this double team. He's watching. Where is 44 going to go? If he fits up out here, he'll get and turn out on him. If he comes in here. Now, here's the thing. They don't have to turn out on him. They just need to fit up on him and cover him. Because if that guy comes inside, he'll go out, and they're looking to get one-on-one with the corner, the worst tackler. So this one, they're comboing to him. They're comboing to him. And they're comboing to him. And, of course, he's responsible for the outside backer, the overhang. Here is your read. Notice the running back. He's not pressing a gap. He is attacking that linebacker, the read linebacker, the key. And also notice this. Now I'm doing it still shots. We are several counts into the play. And every one of them are still engaged with their double team. Every one of them. Notice 17 still hasn't committed. He is shadowing 44, the overhang right here. Nobody has committed. Look, linebackers are still flat. Offensive linemen are still engaged in their double team. Do not get in a hurry. Don't get in a hurry. And the only way to stress that is to stress that. The only way to teach that is to teach that. The only way to get good at it is rep the piss out of it. And you say, well, I don't want to spend that much time on one play. Guys, it's more than one play. Notice on this clip, he still hasn't committed, but this guy falls down, so he knows my guard's got him, so the center's coming off. Look at the middle linebacker. He is committed. Notice the right guard is coming off because, look, he's committed. Look how close they are. Go back one. Look, he's starting to take a step now, and he's eyeballing him. Now go back to that one. I'm coming off right there. Tackle staying on him right here. Look at the running back pressing where that linebacker, his read linebacker, was. Notice that linebacker. He is in trouble. He's in a world of hurt, my friend, because he has not committed and he's about to get lost in the wash. The cornerback decides to make an appearance. The read key went outside, so the running back, look, he sees him commit. Look, he sees his hat here. Here he comes. Look right there. There's that 44 again. Okay, he is lost in the mall. And now they're coming off to their linebackers. You say, well, that guy there almost made the play, coach. Well, again, that sniffer 17, he couldn't just turn out on him because he did not know if the ball was going to bounce or not based on the key. Because look, if this guy had fit up right here, the running back would have went here. And you said, well, the corner's there. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for that. They want that one-on-one matchup with the corner. They feel like they're going to get 4 or 5 yards. This is duo, guys. This is not third and long. Look at the hole open up. This is what struck me. It opens up just like power. And you're getting a rump line just like you would on gap down backer. Right here. It's just like power. And that's why, and I never doubted it, but I just thought this is a great visual of what it looks like. It opens up just like power right. And look, now he's falling back in. Look, nobody has blocked this guy. No one has blocked this guy. But yet we're still going to get a good football play. If the read had fit inside, the running back would have bounced. A lot of duo guys use the term sprayed to be one-on-one with 26 right here, the corner. But that linebacker, the key, fit up out here. Look, he's still going to make the play. He's going to make the tackle, but look how far down the field he is. That's a good football play. All right, here's the video. That's a good example of using your blocks. Watch him. He's going to go right at him. That guy's going to step up. Look at open up just like power. Yes, sir. All right, that's it for this episode of Football Talk with Coach Chip. Remember our freebies. All you got to do is be a subscriber to the channel. If you're already a subscriber, just share it again. Any of these things you see on this screen, plus some that I've mentioned in recent videos, you can get this, you can get that, are available. All you got to do is subscribe, take a screenshot, email it to me at seagle.chip@gmail.com, or share it on the social media. I'm at Coach Chip. Tag me in it now. That way you don't have to email me with a screenshot. You can just tag me in it, and it'll come up on my mentions. And you can also send it to me at seagle.chip@gmail.com and ask for what it is you want. I had a guy a while back said, I want them all. I said, all right. Took me 3 emails to load them all up as attachments. But this is just free stuff, things I've learned over the years, things I've observed, things I've garnered from film study. Be sure to like the video. Be sure to share the video. Quick passing game, a deep dive is still available, and it's a freebie too. And it's a lot of information on the quick passing game and how to install it, how to implement it, how to teach it. Don't forget our publications, our resources, and all you got to do is hit me up, and I'll tell you how you can get your hands on that. They're $30 a piece. If you get all 3, $60 a piece. I'm not a marketer, but somebody told me that's a good idea. Y'all have a great rest of your week, and whatever you do, by all means, be the best version of yourself, and when you are, you will be elite. Thank you.